people keep asking me questions, and I just don't get around to answering them. And it's like, I probably should start answering some of these questions. So the first question I have is from Donnie. Donnie, thanks for your question. And he writes, "Hey, Hebro, I was wondering, in your next video, could you show a comparison between the skin tone on the Classics Flying Fist He-Man and the Classics Battle Armor He-Man? I was also wondering how the Origins He-Man armor looked on the Classics Flying Fist He-Man. Thank you and wish you well." So, I guess I need to also grab some armor. There we go. Here is some armor from the Origins. Now, I have extra armor for the Origins He-Man because I happen to have put... where is he? Here he is. I happen to put my... Oh, this is my Classics He-Man. That's why he has classic armor on. There he is. I happen to stick my Classics armor on my Origins He-Man. So this is actually Classics armor. I think it looks really cool on him. I really like the coloring of it, and I like it better. It's just cleaner than the one we got with Origins. So I did put a Classics armor on my Origins figure, and then I gave him the Revelation shield because that is like one of the coolest shields. And then of course he has his regular axe, and then my custom sword. So, and of course his head is actually a Classics head from the 3-pack Prince Adam. So there you go. There is my go-to. I know you didn't ask the question, but I figured what the heck. Whoa! Oh! And there goes the dominoes. That's what flew off. I thought, what hit my knee? Okay, so now let's take a look. So I actually have a custom version and a regular version, and the reason why I made the custom was because this is the real version right here, and you can see that he has 2 armbands on the same, and I wanted to make a custom one because the custom one in the original toy had this armband. I need to add another light. Oof. There we go. Had this style of armband, and so I wanted that style of armband, and it's like the paint's coming off a little bit after all the years of it sitting on there. So even the stuff I paint sometimes comes off. It used to be just regular orange He-Man arms. So you can see between the regular Classics He-Man and Spin Blade, that's the difference. And between Battle Armor and Spin Blade, it's not a huge difference. It is slightly different. You want to mix parts in between. It probably would not work too well. But if you just went straight up, it'd be fine. So you want to know what the Origins armor looked like on this figure here. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's do that thing. Now, unfortunately, if you're going to use Battle Armor He-Man, he has a silver midsection, so you really can't put regular armor on him. Which at first kind of irritated a lot of us fans. We're like, what the heck? You can't do the armor swapping stuff, but I get it. I understand now why they did it. Let's see if I get this off without pulling his head off. I didn't heat any hot water up today. Oh! So, we do have one problem getting the armor on from Origins, and that is it has to slide up over his legs because he doesn't come apart in the middle. I forgot about that. So, I may have to get some hot water to do this, Donnie. Ooh. Now, one thing you could do, if you're planning on never... Yeah, it's not going to fit without heating up some hot water. It's a long ways for it to stretch over to get on there. I guess I could try to go over the top. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Yep, so one thing you could do, if you very carefully cut right down the center of this, I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to ruin my armor, and once you cut down the center, it would then give you 2 straps that could then hook into the back of this. You know what the heck, I might do it. I'm gonna grab my sharp scissors and let's try this, because this is something that's bothered me since day 1 of these Origins of not having the armor work right. So stay here while I go grab some sharp scissors, and then I'll answer some more questions you guys may have. of scissors. I don't know, I might have left them on the bed or something. How's that fan working for you? Just pretty good. All right, I'm back. I was chit-chatting with my wife. All right, so I got my better spectacles so I can see what I'm doing. I grabbed a bunch of different scissors to find out what we're going to use. Let's see. So these blue scissors seem to work pretty good. I'm just going to cut that all the way along. You know what? I'm using the big Mondo scissors. Oh, they have a space. Let me check out these scissors. These ones might actually work better. Okay. Normally I'd heat this up first, but again, I did not bring any hot water in here. There we go. My scissors slipped at the last second, so it went a little crooked. I was hoping to line it right up there, but that's okay. Let's see now how this looks on him. Now that I've split the straps to make it easier to go on. Whew. Let's get this side first. And then we'll stick. It's just a little bit too tight. I don't have any hot water to stretch it. But if I had hot water and stretched it, it would probably look okay. So you can kind of see what it looks like on him. There we go. So that's what this armor would look like. And again, you'd have to stretch it on him. And if I had hot water, I wouldn't have cut it. I could have just stretched it over his legs. But not bad. So if you wanted to go the cheap route and not buy an expensive Classics He-Man figure, you could get the 2-pack because they cost a lot less and just throw on an Origins armor on him and bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself a He-Man. A He-Man. All right. Cool. Now, there are some people that do sell custom He-Man armor, so if you wanted just to use the Classics armor too, you could also just buy one of those custom armors. In fact, my Hebro actually is made with one of those custom armors. All right, let's see other questions you guys may have. Nolan, so what's the difference between Classics and Origins? Excellent question. So here is a Classics figure. They are approximately 7.5 inches tall, I believe. And let me find a real Origins figure instead of the one I've doctored up. I got the wrong glasses on. Let me switch them up. There they are. All right, I know I got a He-Man somewhere in this pile. Ooh. All I could find is my Flying Fist He-Man. Okay, I'll just use that. What the heck? To show the difference. So you can see there's a height difference. Now, when I say Classics, they call these the Classics. Now, if you're talking about the really old figures from the 80s, the vintage figures, and calling it a classic figure, there's not a lot of difference. I just happen to have one right here under my Transformer and my Dragon Ball Z. Yes, I do own one Transformer. Only one. I got to use them for a promo shot later on. There we go. Oh. So here is the vintage He-Man figures from the 80s. And you're right. Between the vintage figure and the Origins, there's not a lot of difference. They are comparable. They fit in the same vehicles. They pretty much work the same way. Except for these have more articulation. And that's about it. So, and what's cool about the Origins is the Origins actually come apart. Of course, this one doesn't come apart. But usually they come apart so you can... let me grab a different one. Like Zodak, which was actually my He-Man for a long time because they didn't have a He-Man. You can pull them apart at the waist and the arms. And the original vintage figures from the 80s you could not. Classics don't come apart either. So, Classics means the tall ones, where Origins means the new shorter ones, and vintage means the ones from the 80s, which is right there. So that's hopefully helps you out with your question. No, I did not see the lackluster Mo Tuesday announcement today. How does the classic smiling He-Man look, or Adam look on the regular classics He-Man? Now, when you say the smiling head, you mean the laughing one that came with Super 7, the special edition one, or do you mean the one that's just slightly smiling that we got that was in the bottom of Orko's box? Let's see, any other questions? Well, the cool thing is you could go and just come back and watch this later. You don't have to watch it live. Yeah, the Classics armor is really cool. One thing that bugs me about Classics armor, this has bugged me since I noticed it, and now I'm going to show you guys, and now it will bother you for now until the end of time, and that is the squares. The squares right here. Now, if you take a look, this side, the squares are closer, and this side, they're further away. I kept trying to readjust the armor to fix them, but now that you see that, you can't unsee it, and it has driven me crazy. Every single Classics He-Man armor is that way. The customs are that way because they're cast from it, and it drives me crazy. They're not the same height on both sides. I know most people would probably never notice that, but now that I've shown you that, you will see it all the time. You're like, oh, this is off. Lewis says he always uses his battle armor without scratches. It's magical armor. It can fix itself. Let's see. Daquillian Millen says, you know, if they use the new 40th Moto Masterverse, nothing will be compatible with Classics, which is what you and I use them for fodder. What to do? Laughing out loud. I think those figures are just extra large for that, for He-Man. I don't think they're going to all be that size. I hope not. Hopefully it's just supposed to be a big He-Man. I don't know. I haven't seen the set out of the box myself, so I don't know if Skeletor is the same height or not. But yep, as you know, I like to mix when I can, and these are pretty comparable in size, the Revelation ones. It would seem kind of odd that they would veer from that size completely and go with a whole new size. So you can see the Classics, the Revelations. What color purple does Skeletor's armor use? I'm trying to repaint a spare He-Man harness that color. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm not sure what color to call it out exactly. It's kind of strange. If you look through all the figures, his purple changes. So depending on which Skeletor you have, the purple can be completely different. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. I mean, even just in Origins, we already have a plethora of purples just in the short time we got that. I mean, we have the bluish purple, which came out first. Then we have the deep dark purple, which came with Kildor. And so, of course, that is a totally different Skeletor, too. But now I can't find a regular Skeletor. It's not wearing the dark purple, because I like that one better than the bluish purple. All right. Where is a regular, ordinary Skeletor? Oh, I think I found one. Oh, it's a battle armor one. No. Okay, hold on. All right. Oh, there we go. I found one. Right, this found two. So this one here is kind of more bluish purple, and even the one that we got with a Super 7 is much more purple. I would just go with something as purple as you can find. The more purple it is, the better it will be, because you can see the difference in these two colors. This one is more blue purple. This one's more purple purple. So I would just go with the deepest, darkest purple you can get, and that'll look really cool. I wouldn't worry too much about trying to match it exactly, because you can even see here, really obvious, the blue purple and the purple purple. Yep, does not match at all. Which Skelter is that dark blue one? The dark blue one's a custom I made. It is actually Webster. Webster! And I just took Webster and altered him. I've actually used Webster for a couple figures. I also made a blue Hordak out of him too, which I sold on eBay. And then I swapped out the loincloth. It's still Webster's boots because they match the Keldor colors pretty well. Yep, my favorite custom though was kind of a fun accident, was the green Skelter. Dun dun dun. Let's see, royal purple, someone's saying. Purple equals Joker equals Skelter. Yeah, the green Skelter is kind of a fun one. I forget who it was. Somebody here told me to use this head instead, and I've liked that head, so I stuck it on there, so I left it on there. Here's my Beach Bum He-Man. Beach Bum and He-Man. Stand, Beach Bum. All right, I was looking down here to find. It's funny, just the other day I was telling my wife about my He-Man that has his headband actually underneath his hair. I when I made this one, I thought it was so cool making all the tattoos for him, just like the Jungle Attack He-Man, because he is supposed to be Jungle Attack He-Man. Oh, such a cool custom. He was fun to make. I've actually made like 3 of them. This one I decided to keep though. I just basically used Jungle Attack He-Man armor. Actually, I got a Jungle Attack He-Man sitting around here somewhere. Where did I stick him? Did I put him back away? No way. I actually cleaned something up today. Oh, there he is. I knew I didn't clean it up. Oh, so here's the original 2000X version of him. So you can see the difference. And then my custom classics version of him. Oh. I think I have his... He has the craziest sword. It's like a bushwhack sword. It's like a sword they use for cutting through the brush. Let's see if I can find it here. Nope. Ah, another He-Man stole it. There it is. So check out this crazy sword he has, right? The way this works is you take and you slide this up to the end. You offset them 90 degrees. Then you go ha 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 ha, and it chops through all the brush in the way. It's like the lawnmower power sword, which I think is kind of a cool, crazy idea that he has this bushwhacking sword. I got the bushwhack sword. I wonder if he tells you how to use the sword on the back. Number 2, spinning cyber blade. That's all it's called. Spinning cyber blades. Anyway, it was a really fun custom to make. Like I said, the hardest part was getting all the tattoos just right on him. That was kind of a... I remember holding the other figure in my hand as I was making these tattoos. Tattoo. All right, let's look at your guys' comments. I've been ignoring you lately. With Ken's sandals. Yes, those are Ken's sandals. I stole one from one of my kids. I used to have a shirt for him too, but it got this paint on it on the shirt. It was a flower shirt. I keep telling my wife I need to get a new one. I've actually found tank tops online that this lady makes, and I've been tempted to buy like a black tank top for him or something. That'd be kind of cool. Of course, my favorite is the Ice Armor He-Man. Many of you guys have seen this He-Man many times. I've shown him off on my channel. He is my favorite 2000X He-Man that I made. Ooh. He just looks so cool. I've actually made more than one version. I wanted to make one that was almost all classics parts. So this is my almost all classics version. So I used Heroes arms cuffs instead of using 2000X ones. I used Zodak's waist piece. These are from that ice creature guy. I forgot his name now. And then the axe. Oh, it's getting glued in his back from the paint. I actually printed it in clear. See, it's printed kind of in a clear material, and then I painted it to make it look icy. But it's based on the classics battle axe. I did it before I had a scanner, so I actually had to make that by hand. No scanner cheating. And then the sword is also from which He-Man is it? Snake Armor He-Man. So this one is my Ice Armor version that uses mostly classic parts. With this one, I stole most of the parts from the 2000X figures. So there we go. Cool, cool. Let's see. I got some other customs in here. But let's check out your guys' questions before I keep going into the customs. That's the kind of axes you should print. Thanks, Mike. He's the one that rescued Lion-O. Awesome, Lewis. Oh, I should have my Lion-O out. That'd be cool. So which one do you guys like better? The one with the 2000X parts that I stole, or from the Hero parts that I stole for the wrists and stuff and for the loincloth? So there's the loincloth on this one, so you can see it. And then here's the wrist pieces that I stole from the 2000X figure. And what's funny is they're actually different shades of skin tone if you take a look. This one's more tan, and this one is a lighter tone. Yeah, kind of crazy. And this is not printed. This is just the regular silver axe with paint on it. Because it's silver, it just gives kind of the clear appearance to it, even though it's not clear at all. It's solid. And I just put some white paint on it and some some light blue paint, and then did kind of a white frost paint over the top of it, just with a light brushing. So that is all this is just paint only. It's not clear, just a silver axe with paint on it. Oh, I lost the shield. Let's see. Kurt Miser said, when I was a kid, I had Skelter Lair. Yes, the old Snake Mountain. Snake Mountain. Snake Mountain is a pretty cool lair. It's got a lot of stuff to it. It's pretty cool. I know somebody had some other questions for me. I forgot what they were, and I told them to make a video a long time ago. I never got around to it, and I can't remember what they were, but thanks, Kurt Meister. Thanks, Essex 4515. Let's see, Kurt Meister says, do you have what? Let's start putting these away, otherwise I get a huge mess to clean up afterwards of all these figures I leave out. Hey, Summer He-Man. Yeah, I personally actually like this one better. It was actually a whole lot more work to make these armbands fit on there. I did use the hands though from the Ice Armor He-Man too, but it was just a lot more work to carve out those armbands instead of just slapping on heroes. Oh, I forgot. My friend Brian made me this axe. I forgot all about that. My friend Brian, he didn't make this directly himself, but he sent an axe off to a customizer that does casting. And I sent him the original axe so he could have it made. And it's pretty cool. Looks like it's made out of crystalline sugar or something. It's kind of funny. It's the Lollipop axe. Oh, that's right. He made me a shield too. Dude, I forgot about that as well. That's funny. Did I get a sword too? Might as well check and see. Look at my box here. Nope, no sword. Just the axe and shield, but still very cool. Brian, if you're watching, thanks again, man. Those were really cool to get. I can't believe I totally forgot about them. Look at that shield. That shield's pretty cool. Usually I use this shield with them when I first made them. That's because it looks more like an ice version. Alright, let's start putting these guys away. Yeah, I don't know why I just got this crazy kick of making all these 2000X He-Man figures. At one time I also had the Spin Blade He-Man figure made, but I think I've sold all those because I don't see them here in the box anymore. Another fun one is there was a fan-made comic one time, and it's supposed to be a He-Man after New Adventures, and he comes back to Eternia. And this is my Homecoming Eternia, or Homecoming one based on the comic. It's a pretty easy custom. Oh, my box's parts going all over the place. Ugh. Alright, he goes over here, because that's my go-to He-Man. Beach Bum He-Man, time for you to go back away into your box. Battle Armor He-Man. Battle Armor He-Man. And I gotta put his armor back on. It's a beachy man. Yeah, it's funny. One time I set him on a windowsill and had this look like he was looking down, and sent it to my wife and saying, "Wishing you were here." It's kind of funny, just messing around. Today my granddaughters came over and they wanted to know about the floor, so I was telling them about it and I showed them how it worked. And they took a Wonder Bread He-Man, stuck him up here, and then rotated the sorceress, and he fell right down. And it was funny because she just barely had him hanging over the side a little bit, and his upper body weight just forced him into the pit. And she started cracking up. She's 9 years old, and I did give him a toy sorceress to play with and stuff, so they have some cool figures. They also have a Tila and an Evil Lyn. So for those that have not seen the way I store my figures, I'll give you guys a glimpse into the way I store my figures. It's kind of crazy. Originally I bought these plastic boxes, and I used to stack 6 of them together. No, 3 of them together. Yeah, 3 of them together. Originally 3 high, and I would put this green cloth right here, this green cloth over the top of them, and at a glance it looked just like it was some kind of furniture. And then pretty soon I had 2 sets of 3 for a total of 6 of them, and it worked pretty good. And so let me show you what I do with these boxes, how I organize them. It's going to give you guys an insight into my mind. Be like, oh, now we know too much about Hebrew. Oh, this is my original 80s one. He goes back into a special box so he doesn't get scratched up or anything. Now I don't know where I put the box. There it is. It's a box with just him and Tila from the 80s. I don't have a lot of figures left from the 80s. I got a lot of commemoratives, so I like to keep them separate. Okay. Almost got this cleaned up enough to pull it out and put it up here on top of the table here. Skelter. All right, so let me move these scissors here. Okay, here we go. I'm bringing the box up on top of the desk so you guys can see my crazy sorting practices. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. So here is how I sort my figures. This is my He-Man box. And I cut corrugated plastic out to make the dividers. And you can see I have all my He-Man figures in this one. I have one just like it for Skelter too. All my Skelter figures. Where I keep my cool customs like my 2000X He-Man and everybody else like that too. Ooh, such a cool custom. I have both sets of armor, so I just put them over his head so I can swap them out. And then the back side I put the laser lights because they fit better there. And then over here I have all the accessories that are extra that I use when I need to customize. I don't want to put all the stuff in their hands because this is too much to put all in their hands, so I usually stick them all over here. Extra boots, extra armor, see? Lots of extra boots from all the customizing. Lots of shields. Technically, these figures should all have a shield and stuff, so I don't stick them all on their hands. I stick them all on the sides over there. And there you go. That is how I store all my figures. Where is the lid? There it is. And a lot of people set them up on shelves. You keep them on nice shelves all the time. I actually file them away in these big boxes. And that is my He-Man box. I have a box of Horde. I have a box of Snake Men. I got a box of, like I said, Skeletor. I got a She-Ra box. It's not just all She-Ra, it's all the characters from She-Ra, except for the Horde characters. So the Horde characters go in the Horde box. So Catra is actually in the Horde box, not in the She-Ra box. Whew. Now my table's clean again. Alright, let's take a look at your guys's. A tiny tap-out shirt to wear. You know. Thanks, animator. Thanks, Jason. Yep, they each have their own little square they go into. I'm not sure, Pop Actor, if it's good for the humidity or not. If I was going to store them away for a long time, I would stop at the store and buy some dry ice, and I would drop them into the cases before I stored them. But since I'm opening up all the time and always taking them out, they're always getting fresh air all the time. But if I was going to do a long-term storage, I would drop some dry ice in there to get rid of all the air inside of it, and then I would close them up. Yeah, it was actually my wife's idea. She helped me organize it. And what's cool is my shelves can hold 2 boxes on each shelf. Let me show you one of my shelves, just so you can see how the ridiculousness. Let me just pull this phone out of here. So you can see there's my shelves, and each shelf holds 2 boxes on it. And so then I could store all the figures, and each box is organized by what style or type of figure is in there. And so I know it's kind of crazy. It was actually her idea to store them like that. It's like, you know what? That's a cool idea. Like I said, originally I had them just stacked up with a sheet over the top of them, but the shelves work like giant drawers, and I could pull them out and grab them when I need to. Yep, I made the mistake when I was a kid and stored away a bunch of Micronauts. And by the time I gave them to my kids, they were all destroyed. And then my brother said, "What? You didn't throw dry ice in there?" I said, "No, I didn't throw dry ice in there." And he goes, "Oh." And I said, "Yeah, oh, he's right." So, learn my lesson. See, Lewis says, "I'm mixing 2000X and Origins. Too bad, and Ram Man from 2000X looks really good with Origins." Nice. Yes, Too Bad is a really cool figure with 2000X. I think it's the best Too Bad out of all of them. I know people say the new one is. I don't see it personally. Classics is cool, but I think the original 2000X Too Bad was the coolest. He was the first one with 2 different heights, and he does have some really cool features. So yeah. Sealing them in plastic will also help. Sometimes it can. It depends on the plastic. So I'd be very careful with that. I've had people have bad experiences where the plastic will break down the plastic of the figures. So be careful on the plastic you choose. Yeah, Pop Actor, looking for storage space. My place is open. Laughing out loud. See, Taz says, "Hi, bro. I'm late to the game. I took the head from Thunder Punch He-Man Classics and swapped it and put it on the Masterverse He-Man. It looks great." Taz, that is an excellent idea. Phoenix 77 says, "We might be getting a laser power He-Man in Origins. That would be cool." Terror Claw Skeletor didn't come with a sword. That's a clone chamber. Oh, pop actor, the picture of a supermodel. Dude, you know what's hilarious? My wife one time went to this women's retreat with her mom and some friends. And so I took a He-Man figure. This was years ago. Man, like 30 years ago. Holy cow, does time fly by. And I took a He-Man figure, just like this one. And I made a heart and I wrote "I love you" in a heart, and then taped it to his hands, and I stuck him in her bag. So when she'd open up her bag, she would see his He-Man figure has a heart that says "I love you." And so when she got there to the retreat, you know, the bag got banged around a little bit. When she opened it up, the heart was gone. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if the tape got stuck somewhere else or what happened. All she saw was this He-Man figure on top of her clothes, and it just irritated her. Oh. And her mom's like, "What is that? What's going on? Why did he throw a toy in your luggage?" And so it was pretty funny. And when she came home, I told her, I said, it was supposed to have a heart attached to it, you know, because obviously this would represent me, because, you know, I play with these figures all the time. And so I thought that'd be kind of funny to do. Yeah, it was funny. I used to hide them over the house too. Like she used to have this arbor in an archway in between our dining room and kitchen, and it had all these flowers all over it and everything else. And I would take web store and I would hang them up somewhere in her arbor, like a spider, because there were spiders in there once in a while. So I just put them in there, had them hanging up there one time. It was pretty funny. It took her like almost a month before she realized he was hanging up there. What is this doing here? Or like at Easter time, I always take Plundar, that pink bunny, and hide him somewhere in the house for the grandkids to find. Usually I have it on some sort of curtain rod, so it's looking down at all the activities going on. All right, let me take a look at your guys' comments. Let's see, Animator says, "Man, I didn't realize you had so many figures. I think your He-Man collection looks like my Star Wars collection. Very nice. I have mine stored in the same box. Is that going to destroy my figures?" I don't think it will. It hasn't yet so far. I've had my figures in there since like 2009. My original box is up at the top, way on top of my shelf, and it's a small little box, but I grew that pretty quick. And actually, I used to store my original 80s figures in a box similar to that too. So I didn't have the dividers. I just would take a metal grate and bend the corners of it and have all the holes for their legs to go into way back then. Hey Jamie, thanks for joining us. Yeah. Let's see, the gossip talk at my girlfriend's workplace ever since I started collecting Masters of the Universe. Yeah, I hear you, man. I have a craziest story is my wife didn't even know that I was into action figures until my kids were older. I didn't let her know about it. I didn't talk about it. I just kind of kept it kind of to myself. And then as the kids got older one day, their figures started to migrate from their room to my room as they started growing out of them. And my wife's like, "Hey, what's going on here?" I said, "Well, they're really cool figures, you know. I want to keep them around. You know, it reminds me of the kids when they were younger." And then finally one day I bought a big giant auction, and it took forever to get here. And that was my first real buying stuff from eBay like that. You were living a lie, man. Yeah, I know. But it sounds really messed up. And those of you who collect figures, don't take this wrong. I don't know if my wife would have married me if she would have seen the figures I had before we got married. I think it would have scared her off pretty quick. So I had a huge facade going when we were dating. She didn't even know I was into computers at all. And then after our honeymoon, we come home and I unpack my computer and she's like, "What's this?" I said, "Oh, it's my computer." "You have a computer?" Yep. And it was pretty funny. I gave all my figures away right before I got married. My Hot Wheels cars, everything. You know, I didn't want my wife to know, which I know sounds kind of funny because she kind of jokingly says that I tricked her, and now she's stuck with me. But you know what? The years have been good. Like I said, our oldest son's 35. We've been married for a long time, and she's warming up to it. Jason says my wife's been overly nice about my collection. All right. Anyway, unconditional love. I'm going to go ahead and end this feed. I think I answered most of the questions you guys had. I wish I knew what questions that guy asked before. I don't need love. I just need toys. And good journey, you guys. And thanks for joining me. Man, I know I'm thinking of some videos I wanted to make and I never got around to it. I still got to finish my fort over there. As you can see, it's still sitting there. I want to paint the bricks on it and finish some decals. Just been slacking on it. Well, I've been busy making floors and helmets. I got 6 helmets that are ready for their first coat of paint. So I've been busy doing new helmets for people too, so I can get them out next week. Let's see. Someone said, "So you hid you are a genius." Thanks, man. I don't know. My wife thought I was pretty smart, so she just didn't know that I was into action figures or computers. All right, good journey, you guys. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Help me spread this channel. Let's get it going again, and I will see you guys next video. Bye now.